Hi there. This is the thing about NIO stock. Market cap right now is about $7.8 billion. Right? Price $3.70. Now, how can you value this company? First, you start look at their balance sheet. Total cash plus investments close to $4 billion. Compare this amount, 4 billion, to 7.8 billion. It's quite a lot, more than half of the current market cap. So that's great. That's great. But don't forget their total debt. If you look on their balance sheet, you will find out that the total debt is about $6.6 billion. By the way, this includes also their trade and notes payable. That's why their debt is so high. And if you do the math, subtract total debt from the total cash, net cash position is about minus $2.6 billion. So when you compare this amount with the current market cap, you can see that the real value is not on their balance sheet. So forget about this. The good part is that they have cash, enough cash here to fund their operations, including debt. Now, the most important indicators about this company and assess their future growth rate is to look at their revenue, earnings, and number of deliveries, right? And if you look at the revenue over the last 3 years, you can see here, 2022, $7.1 billion. 2023, $7.8 billion. 2024, $9 billion. From 2022 to 2023, a growth rate about 13%. 2023 to 2024, growth rate 18%. And of course, you also have some estimates for 2025. The market expects NIO to deliver 12 billion in revenue. So growth rate about 18%. That's nice. That's nice. Now let's look at the earnings. And this is the most important thing. Their earnings. How much money they make on this revenue. And if we look at the revenue, 2022 minus 2 billion. 2023 close to 3 billion. 2024 3 billion. And 2025 it is expected a decrease from 3 billion minus 3 billion to 2.4 billion. Now, is this good? Of course not. You want to see positive earnings. Because the market cap, their future market cap, will depend on their future profits. If they become profitable, the earnings go up, stock price, and also market cap will go up. If the earnings continue to decline, report more losses, that will be quite bad. Market cap will go down, and so the stock price. Now, an interesting thing about this company, if you look, is the number of deliveries, because this is an important metric. Not only revenue and earnings, the number of deliveries. 2022, 122K per thousand, right? 2023, 160. 2024, 222. So we have a growth rate of 40% from 2022 to 2023, then a growth rate of about 48%. And for 2025, surprise, big surprise, they expect to double the number of deliveries. So we might have a double, 100% growth rate. But now, still, if you look at the revenue, still small, and they still expect losses. So it's not enough, 440K. They have to increase this number to 1 million deliveries. And maybe after this, increase the number of deliveries to 1 million, they may be able to become profitable, to report positive earnings. But this is not sure. It's not sure. That's why investing in this company involves some risk. You don't know for sure if NIO can become profitable if they achieve 1 million deliveries per year. You don't know for sure. So that's why we try to assess this. Now, to assess this, if they can become profitable on 1 million deliveries, you have to predict two things. that they can achieve this number, 1 million deliveries, and also maintain a price for their products. As you probably know, they have 3 brands: NIO, Anvo, and Firefly. Now, if you look at the growth rate in the revenue for 2025, 12 billion, 18% in the revenue, and you look at the number of deliveries, 100%, you see something important here. You can see from the numbers that the average selling price for their cars went down. This went down. Why is that? Because of competition. For instance, BYD, Tesla, Xpeng, what else? In other companies, for instance, Geely from China. So there is a lot of competition there. And their prices are likely to go lower for their cars. Don't expect huge declines, but they'll be lower. What they can do is to increase this number of deliveries and gain more market share. To increase the market share. At least make, let's say, 10% market share here. And then maybe they can deliver some earnings, profitable earnings. If not, if they can do that, deliver profitable earnings, guess what will happen? They'll continue to burn their cash. And the number of shares, if you look right here, will continue to grow. For instance, 2022, this number was about 1.6 billion. 2023, 1.7. 2024, 2 billion. And when you start issuing more shares, the value of shareholders will go down. Because the more shares you have, your value will be divided by more people, and you get less from that high pie. So the risk with NIO is that they might not become profitable, they might achieve 1 million a year in number of deliveries, and of course, tough competition. The average selling price may get lower and lower. Of course, the upside can be high, quite high, from this level, from 7 billion, if they achieve a nice market share in China and also internationally. The upside can be quite huge, more than double, 3x or 5x from this level. You can have 5x. But again, this to happen, you need a lot of things. As I said, 1 million in the number of deliveries, maintain their market share, and keep their prices to be able to make a profit. Now, if you want better investment idea, you can have access to my portfolio, where you can see exactly what I buy and what I sell. And to do that, simply go to my channel, to my profile, and press join. And there you can see everything I do, every transaction. By the way, more recently I bought an undervalued company from the US. So, if you want to increase your returns, have better investment ideas than NIO, you can join my membership. That's it, and if you have other questions, please let me know in the comments.